Once you have your shirt properly hooped, the next step, of course, is to put it on the machine. Now, a couple of steps I'm going to show you are not absolutely necessary, but may make it more convenient. First, what I usually want to do is have my machine go to needle number 1, and I do that by pressing the 1 key on the control panel, and you'll notice that the machine transitions over to where needle number 1 is directly over the needle plate. Next, I'm going to move my frame forward a little bit more so that my hoop can go on a little bit more easily. So I'm going to use my down arrow key on my frame move keys to bring the frame forward a little bit for me. Once I'm a little bit more in position, you see it's kind of parallel across the front of where my needle plate is. Now I can place it more easily on the machine. I'm going to open it up so that the neck of the garment goes around the rotary hook bobbin assembly area like this. Okay, so I'm going to hold it open and feed that shirt over there, and then feed the hoop so that it goes underneath the needles, and for my positioning pins to go underneath the tension springs. And then I'm just going to push it forward until my positioning holes click into place like that. And these are the holes that were described on an earlier video that are at the bottom of the hoop. Now once it's in position, it's very important that you check to make sure there's no fabric between the needle plate and the bottom of the hoop, or it'll stitch your garment together. So what I do is I roll the garment up, and then I just reach in here and pull all of this fabric out to make sure that there's no garment stuck between my hoop and my needle plate area. Once I've done that, then I know that my garment is clear and is safe to embroider. Next step is that I need to position my hoop so that I get my embroidery inside my hoop correctly and in the right place. Again, I'm going to use my frame move keys to position this hoop, and you also have a laser light that can be of assistance. You can see the pointer is there, but it's also above my needle number 1. So I'm always, or at least almost always, going to have my hoop centered. I went to needle number 1, centered on needle number 1, both vertically and horizontally. Once I've got that centered, my position correct, as long as my design is small enough to fit inside the hoop and it's been properly done, then my design should sew inside the hoop with no trouble whatsoever, and it should also be in the correct location, and it should also be straight to the garment.